Ladies and gentlemen, and today we should not be still looking at stories on black natural hair. I think this is outrageous that these discussions are still going on, and no one from other races should be concerning themselves about black hair. Okay, our hair should not be a concern to you, just like your hair is not and never will be a concern to us. So, ladies and gentlemen, this came out in the Washington Post September 19th, 2019. Most states are trying to protect black employees who want to wear natural hairstyles at work. This should be nationwide. This should not be no some states. I look at this as a means of still trying to control us, ladies and gentlemen. This is stupid and it makes no sense. So it's talking about the opening in New York City, 42nd Street. There was a woman, Minda Harts, found herself seated next to a recruiter for a corporate board's position over cocktail and plated fish entree, and two talked about race in the boardroom. Um, the recruiter, a white woman, complained about the challenges of finding black women to be corporate directors. That's not a challenge. It's not. It's a lot of educated black women out here. In fact, black women are more educated than ever. When I hear somebody has a problem finding someone, it makes me wonder, how hard are you really looking? To test how she'd respond, Hartz, who founded a career development company for women of color and had a book on the topic released in August, asked the recruiter who she would feel more comfortable putting forward as a candidate for a board. A woman of color with a sleek ponytail, or one with a natural hairstyle, such as locks or an afro. The recruiter said the woman with the ponytail, Hartz recalled. The phrase she used was clean cut, Hart said. Hart said that she wasn't altogether surprised, given the woman had said it was difficult to find black female directors, but it was a reminder that these unconscious and conscious biases keep us from even having an opportunity to have a seat at the table. We haven't even had a chance to introduce ourselves, and there are these assumptions of unprofessionalism, Hart said. I'll be honest with you. I wear my hair straight probably 99% of the time because being in corporate America, I've seen how clients who have braids and natural hairstyles can be looked upon. Concern about the damage caused by heat and chemical straightening, and the support offered by online communities are contributing to the latest. Yeah, there is a natural hair movement in the country that has been going on for several years. In fact, I did the big chop back in 2000, about 2009. I did the big chop. I chopped all my hair off and I let it grow back in natural because I had relaxed hair and I no longer wanted the chemical on my hair. So I know some people just let it change over. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to transition. I wanted it completely gone. So I just did the big chop. And I remember that summer, Boy, I don't think I broke a sweat that whole summer. It felt kind of good going out, especially on a breezy day, and I could feel the wind in my scalp. That felt good. So, you know, I just wish these kind of conversations would stop. I really do. Okay, so let me just go back. All right, online communities are contributing to the latest iteration of the natural hair movement, with some Black women adopting locks, braids, soft curls, and otherwise embracing their natural cultural heritage. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, whose heritage are we supposed to embrace? Whose culture are we should we be embracing if it's not our own? You know, I don't want somebody else's culture. I don't. I want mine. And that should not be a problem in the workplace. It should not be problems in school behind it either. Several states have recently taken steps to push employers, schools, and the broader culture to move with them and help dismantle a culture of discrimination experienced by Black women and men who say they continue to face implicit and explicit pressures to conform, unwelcome comments, or even outright discrimination. New Jersey, Tennessee, Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, and other states have proposed legislation to explicitly ban race based hair discrimination, tackling a remaining loophole in the law governing discrimination in workplaces, schools, and other public places. California and New York were the first to sign legislation into law in July, and New York City issued guidelines on the issue earlier this year. Again, this should be a non topic. It really should be. But, ladies and gentlemen, I can see how this is still happening, because no matter how much America claims things have changed, this is living proof that it has not changed enough in this country at all. This is what it proves. The topic has gotten attention from Democratic presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg as well. Hair discrimination is racial discrimination, and we ought to recognize that at the national level too, he said at Essence Fest, an event produced by the company behind the Black Women's Magazine. The legislation is backed by lawmakers in at least 8 states and by a coalition that continues the civil rights group Color of Change, National Urban League, and Western Center on Law and Poverty, as well as marketing heft of beauty brand Dove, Unilever, which has pointed to its focus towards society, beauty standards for women, and featured diverse figures in its campaign, has also provoked consumer rage, including with a much criticized ad for body wash. Black hair has been a long history of being politicized and stigmatized in the workplace for men as well as women, said Laurie tarps. Okay, I'm just taking that the H is silent. Professor at Temple University, and the author of Hair Story: Untangling the Roots of Black Hair in America. I can't believe these kind of things even have to be written now. You know, if a black person was going to be part of corporate culture, they would be expected to not only dress the part, but dress their hair the part. No, no, that shouldn't be expected. I'm sorry, it should not be expected. You know, if you want to have your hair straight or be diverse with your hair, you want to wear an afro one day, braids another day, and maybe wear it straight the next day, that should be a choice to do that. You should not be pressured by a corporation or school to do those things at all. Okay, she said the new laws are getting traction because the latest natural hair movement, which differs from the protest movements of the 1960s, has almost normalized natural hairstyle like braids, twists, and locks. We have a critical mass now, she said, that has been fueled by the internet, particularly YouTube, with its community and how-to videos about wearing natural hairstyles, said Gillian Scott Ward, a psychologist in New York who directed a 2017 documentary on identity and natural hair. It allowed everyday people to document their natural hair journey. This is how I wash it. This is how I detangle it. This is how I deal with the fact that my mom wants to disown me. This is how I talk to my boss about it. At the time when diversity issues are getting more attention, employment lawyers say the new laws did not face significant opposition from the business community. And they said that while some grooming policies may specifically prohibit certain styles, more common are general guidelines that call for professional or not extreme looks that can disproportionately lead to bias against black employees or students. That sounds like discrimination. I'm sorry, it does. I don't care. They think they can soften the blow. That's not softening anything. Such policies have an unintended effect on some ethnic groups. It's really primarily black groups. The black group. It's no other groups, said Corinne Jackson, an attorney at Littler Mendelson, who represents employers. Patricia Okanta, an attorney with the NAACP Legal Defense and Educational Fund, which was not involved in the coalition, said the legislation recognizes that people should have access to opportunity and resources regardless of their hair texture and regardless of their race. I agree. The LDF currently represents a 7-year-old boy and his family in an administrative complaint with the Florida Department of Education after he was denied entry to a private school because of his locks. The organization was also involved in the case of Chastity Jones, a woman who wore her hair in locks and said her job offer was rescinded because of her hairstyle. The U.S. Supreme Court declined to hear her case last year. Stories alleging hair-based discrimination have gone viral on social media, including Andrew Johnson, a New Jersey student wrestler who was forced to cut his locks, Curran, Washington, a Texas teenager whose mother said he was not hired at Six Flags because of his hairstyle, Brittney Jones, a former news anchor in Mississippi who allege that her decision to wear a natural hairstyle was a factor in her dismissal. In a Medium post, Noble Jones claimed her news director said her natural hair was unprofessional, and the equivalent to him on throwing a baseball cap on to go to the grocery store. Well, that's the way the hair grows out of the scalp. Okay, I take offense to him claiming it's unprofessional and it's natural hair that grows out of somebody's scalp. That's offensive to me. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave the link to this article so that you can come out and review it. But the bottom line is, I think they use the hair discrimination as another way of getting to the Black community, because they know they can't do it based on your skin in the workplace. So they go to the next best thing, which is the hair. That's just my opinion, and I stand by that opinion. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.